Hero Club presents Los Ingobernables de Tokusatsu.
Welcome to an all-new episode of Los Ingobernables de Tokusatsu, and today we're going to feature one hell of a discussion, and we have our main players. That means Wheelchair 21, yours truly, is here, Projekt RDM, Soundout, and Visible Ninja. And this is going to be kind of, I guess, I wouldn't say an open forum, because we don't have any questions coming off of, like, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or whatnot, but I guess we're going to have, like, an open...
That's a good idea to bookmark for later.
Yeah, we'll do that later.
I got a question.
Okay.
What's the name of this podcast again?
It's the show you came up with. You named the show. You're the creator.
At least I asked the question, Wheelz. You're welcome.
Yeah, that's for the open forum. But no, we're just gonna do like an open discussion kind of thing. We're gonna be talking about topics, stuff, events. Nevertheless, it's gonna be mostly about Toku, probably some Gundam, anime. Who knows? Might be like the good old days where we're just
Cheat
rambling
Savior's
on.
the best Toku ever made.
I mean,
funny.
it's probably the best Tokusatsu series for Gundam ever made.
Pacific Rim is the greatest Toku in history.
It was funny because I thought we were getting one, but then it was the stage play.
Oh yeah, that actually happened, Soundout. When the news broke for the Gundam 00 stage play, Visible Ninja thought it was actually going to be a live drama, like, TV weekly show.
Yeah.
That would have been neat.
And then
One of the translations I was looking
another
at
anime
said
project.
like live action drama, but then like I looked at it other place and it says stage play. Fuck.
And then when I
And then
broke,
later that
yeah,
day,
when I
we
broke
got more news.
when I broke the sequel news, Darkon was dumbfounded, like Soundout. I was like, so Darkon, that sequel? He's like, stage play, sequel, stage play, sequel, stage play, and sequel.
Lock on.
Yeah. Darkon lost his mind. Darkon, I think, like, had like a soft reset. Like, he was like if a computer crashed, like a deer in the headlights when I gave him that news. He was just
That
so
explains
dumb.
why he was offline for like 5 minutes after telling me.
Yeah, cause I tell him, and he just got silent for a minute, cause he didn't believe me. And then I sent him the link that I wrote for the site, and he was like, oh, hey, what? No.
Say, what?
Yeah, he was shocked to all hell.
You know what's funny about that?
What?
I don't think it's a TV show. I think it's a movie.
Yeah, it's either going to be a movie or OVA or some kind of one-off, because I don't think they're going to go full out with it.
It's not going to be a TV show because we just got this announcement that there's another TV show coming.
Oh yeah, most likely, yeah, indefinitely.
Build Divers is our show for this year. This other show is our show for next year. Or this fall if they just want to be really insane. But I think they're too busy with Double Decker, so...
What's Double Decker? What do I...
It's the Tiger and Bunny like.
Oh yeah,
sort of
the Tiger and
project.
Bunny sequel. That isn't Tiger and Bunny.
It's the next in the Buddy Hero series.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
that's
kind of
the
weird. 'cause,
franchise.
yeah, they don't want to carry over Tiger and Bunny to do the sequel they said they were gonna do, but instead make it like almost Brave as
And then maybe
score. It's
because
gonna
they're
be
still
different.
waiting on the movie to happen.
Wait, there's another Tiger and Bunny movie supposed to happen?
Yeah, a live action one
Oh yeah, that's right, the live action one.
by Ron Howard.
I still can't quantum that, even though, like, you know, he's able to, from what I know, Ron Howard actually is a fan of anime, so I don't think he's gonna fail the fans.
And he's been working with Sunrise very closely, but apparently the project did get put on hold while he went to go like fix Solo.
Well, a lot of people needed to fix Solo. Did you not see Last Jedi?
Yeah, no, don't start me. But
Oh no, I'm gonna start you because I have it on Blu-ray right now.
I do too, but I haven't put myself through the bonus features yet. But by Ron Howard working on Tiger and Bunny and also working on Solo, he can just take all that money he's getting from Solo and just fund Tiger and Bunny.
He could fund it to become a live-action series on Netflix, like 4 seasons.
I would rather it just be a movie, personally, because I think that works for his creative space better.
Yeah, probably it would work out the best. I mean, still, the fact that, you know, it's getting a live-action adaptation in North America, so,
It was originally
yeah.
set for a 2019 release, but I'm thinking that's probably pushed to 2020 at the earliest.
Yeah, like I said, though, this is already a tangent on anime. You know people. We
But
also
Double
like that,
Decker
too.
could be interesting considering that the kind of little teaser at the end of Tiger and Bunny was that there was an Ouroboros symbol inside of the money of the city, which next, Double Decker is a detective series, which
Illuminati.
could very much be them
Illuminati.
investigating Ouroboros' connection to Sternbild.
My God, they're in a canon universe. What is this? Ishinomori writings?
That would be so cool. If I'm right on that, I get like all the cookies.
You're gonna have the entire box of Scooby snacks.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Woo!
speaking of Scooby snacks, still, if you guys aren't fans of Supernatural, just go watch the episode with Scooby-Doo. It's hilarious. It's amazing. It's a riot.
Speaking of anime, though, I don't know what the hell happened, but I'm watching 7 anime this season.
I'm
You
still only
crazy
watching like
bastard.
2, maybe 3.
I'm watching 7 simulcast shows right now.
How about you give us
I'm
a
only
rundown?
watching Build Divers.
give
so
us
I'm good.
give us a rundown, sound out of the 7, and I'll tell you which
Okay.
ones I'm watching.
Here, let me get. I have a list of which days the new episodes come out. Where's my? Okay, I got a list. Spring anime season. So, starting off with Sunday, we have Golden Kamuy, which I pretty much only started watching because Man with a Mission did the theme song. But it's actually a whole story about, a former soldier trying to find the treasure's worth of gold with help from a bear hunter girl he met in the forest, and the map is tattooed to the skin of several prisoners that escaped a prison years ago.
Oh yeah, that's the one that my friend told me I needed to watch.
First episode was good. I haven't seen the second episode yet. It came out, but I got busy.
Because I remember a friend of mine telling me, yeah, this guy's trying to find a treasure map on the back of prisoners, and I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah, and the thing is that he has to cut their skin off because the tattoo was done so that you have to actually bisect the skin in order to get the full map.
This is raunchy.
that's-
It's so raunchy. I love it.
It's
Yeah,
so crazy. Then we have Gundam Build Divers, which comes out on Tuesdays. Or airs on Tuesdays, which is, Gundam Build. Yeah, it's a Gundam show. They put the word Gundam in it, I'm going to watch it. Good or bad, I'm in it for the long run at this point.
Yeah, and right now,
Damn
Build Divers is
straight.
questionable because we don't know what the hell they're doing.
I enjoy it so far, so I'm not really complaining. Yeah, I've seen every Gundam show except for Age, Seed, and Seed Destiny, so... Anyways, back to anime. Tokyo Ghoul RE also airs on Tuesdays. Tokyo Ghoul is like a soul-crushing show. It's never one I want to rewatch, but I keep watching it because it's slightly addictive.
Yeah, everyone keeps saying that, but I've strayed far away from it, knowing of the curse that follows it.
Like, here's the thing: is like when I watched it originally, I watched it like last year. Started watching Tokyo Ghoul, and like 8 episodes in, I just stopped and was like, this show is too depressing. And then I, let a year pass by, watched Devilman Crybaby, and realized that life is pointless. And then,
If it wasn't so pointless, you wouldn't be trying to get wine bottles for Power Morphicon.
Shh.
Because after
Yeah,
all,
it's
as
like-
we've all
Fortunately for me, I
learned,
don't drink anymore, so that's not gonna happen to me.
My perspective. Wait, what?
well-
Projekt doesn't drink anymore?
Oh, he does. He's lying.
Shut up, Rio.
well, in fairness, you won't be drinking the wine bottles. You'll be shoving them up your ass. So there's that.
Oh, none of that shit. See, the running joke is when that happens, when all hell breaks loose, I'm still around. Like, how come there's no demon inside him? I never know.
Oh God.
Like, oh my God, there's
Anyways,
one already in there.
After Devilman Crybaby, I can pretty much handle anything now. So I've taken Tokyo Ghoul as like this slightly amusing, like, wow, everything sucks for everyone in the show. That sucks for them. Then there's Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains, which is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Show, this is the third most watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Show for me because I always dip out like 40 episodes into these things. I've only ever finished the original in 5Ds, and so Vrains is up there as the third most watched show out of everything. Only because I've been watching it weekly since it came out. Thoughts on Vrains? Anybody got any comments on Vrains?
Nah, I've been sitting out on Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever since 5Ds. Like, I watched some of it. I just collect the card game here and there, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need anything else.
So like what I've seen of Zexal and Arc 5, taking that perspective, Vrains is the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Show since 5Ds.
Well, you're
And-
not really wrong either.
Yeah, I mean I would say Vrains is better than GX even. But that's
I'm
like
I'm
first
skeptical
impression.
on that because like I thought GX was good for like the first half, then the rest of it went to shit.
I mean, it's definitely better than the second half of GX. Thursday, Megalobox, which is like a weird ass title for a really cool show, which is also somehow a spinoff of Ashita no Joe. So it's a cyberpunk boxing anime. So that just kind of hits a lot of things in my brain that I like. So Yeah.
Yeah, because when you brought it up to me, like, I completely lost track of what it was because its name is so vaguely weird when you hear it.
Megalobox sounds like a box that will cause the end of humanity.
No, Megalobox. No, you know what it sounds like, Megalobox? It sounds like some kind of thing that's like Loot Crate.
Yeah,
It kind of does.
it does. Yeah. I think the title is like why no, like there's like not a lot of people watching it, but it's got really sharp animation. Storyline's pretty interesting, and it's really fun to watch. Honestly, it's probably one of the better shows this season. Then there's the confusing mess on Saturdays called Persona 5, the animation.
But it's Persona, so it is confusing.
I mean, not having played any Persona games, watching Persona 5 is kind of like this is kind of neat, but I also can't really follow this plot very well kind of thing. And then the last show I'm watching this season is also on Saturdays, and it's Cutie Honey Universe.
How'd you manage to get to see it this time?
Not something to be discussed on air.
Ah, the illegal method.
Don't discuss it on air.
Well, luckily we're recorded, so it's technically not on air.
That's true. Yeah, this is all sidebar, not to be in the final episode, but I didn't.
A screen share from somebody's iPhone.
I really didn't want to spend $4 a month just to watch Cutie Honey Universe.
No one wants to spend $4 a month just to watch Gridman. Come on. On top of the Amazon Prime subscription.
Exactly. I was like, if I'm not gonna spend $4 for Gridman, I'm not spending $4 for Cutie Honey.
No. Here's the thing: you have to spend $4 on top of your Amazon Prime, which is worse.
Yeah, no. It's like you spending $104. No. Hold on. What's 4 times 12? Someone do math. I'm not good at math.
Wait, what?
Hold on. 4 times 12. Okay, so it's $148 a year to watch Gridman.
I'm completely leaving this in because the fact that you caught me off guard with the whole you don't know math. Damn, this is too good to be. This is too good to be true.
Anyways, back to sidebar. Cutie Honey Universe is only on Sentai Filmworks streaming site, and the thing is that site does have some good stuff like the Big O and Garo on it. Except I already own those on Blu-ray, so I don't need a streaming service for that. But Cutie Honey Universe is slated to get a Blu-ray in America, so I'll probably buy that.
Yeah, because I mean, who wants to go the legal streaming method when it's a ripoff?
Yeah, for this, because there's nothing on that library except for Cutie Honey that I need it to watch. So my method is I'll buy the Blu-ray when it's all over and out on Blu-ray. I'll definitely buy it. I'm 2 episodes into the show and I love it enough that I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna buy this. It's gonna happen. Especially since it'll go with my Go Nagai 50th anniversary Blu-ray collection, which hopefully is happening. Because with Mazinger Z Infinity getting a Blu-ray and Cutie Honey getting a Blu-ray, I'm just like, all right, Netflix, give me that Devilman Blu-ray. We're good.
Yeah, no, straight on. I think I'm only watching 2 animes, or at least one wrapped up. So I think now I'm watching one because build divers.
Just like me.
Yeah, because one is the loneliest.
I'm over here with 7. I mean, luckily I watch Build Divers with my parents, so it kind of makes my life a little easier that way.
But you know what's funny though? You know what's actually funny though? Is a friend of mine shared a meme about how everyone on Facebook is talking in his one Facebook group about Darling in the Franxx, and he just wants to talk about Kamen Rider Build. And I'm like, yeah, Kamen Rider Build's better than Darling in the Franxx.
Oh yeah, I also watch Build, Lupin Ranger vs. Pata Ranger, and Dragon Ball Super's dub every week. I guess technically I'm watching 8 anime this season if we're counting Super.
There you go.
That's the dub broadcast, so it doesn't count.
That's why I always leave it off in a separate category.
You gotta leave it off in a separate category, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Plus Black Lightning, Flash, and Supergirl. I'm just loaded.
Yeah, I'm more up to date on CW stuff nowadays than I am actually on the American dub of, Dragon Ball, the American broadcast dub, and what is it? Even Lupin Ranger and Build. I don't know why. I was telling people Build's a good show, but I can't sit and watch it weekly. I don't know why.
Sometimes I'll let 2 episodes
Don't
pile
really enjoy
up.
it.
It's usually fun, but I haven't piled up more than 2 episodes.
I've piled up at least 10 by now. I'm not.
I keep up with it, and it's also because I watch Build with my mom, so she's always asking when the next Build is.
Yeah, no, for some reason I'm not so heavily in a sense it doesn't invest me as much. I enjoy it. I think it's a really good series, but it's not I need to know what happens next.
I'm more involved with this show than I am with X-Aid.
It's funny too because it did take you forever to get on X-Aid.
Yeah, but yeah, no, then Super and Lupat are family shows, so
Of
Doesn't make
course,
any more.
Lupat is very family oriented. I mean, it's Sentai, it's kiddified nowadays. It's very kiddified compared to what we're used to.
That's the thing though, is like even then, like I feel like with like the last few years, I think like Lupin Ranger versus Patra Ranger is probably the most mature Sentai of the last decade.
It's making that attempt to.
It's done really well, especially in recent episodes.
I'll agree with that because like it's at least trying to not seem so kiddie-ish.
Yeah, and the thing is that the dynamics of it because of the way they've structured the series, it's not it doesn't feel kiddie because it's not doing the monster of the week bit. It doesn't have like a generic formula it follows. It kind of follows in the footsteps of Build and X-Aid, where every episode is building on the plot of the previous episode. If that makes any sense. Like it feels serialized without being serialized.
Yeah, because I mean, you have the episodes where the guy who ran the Galaxy Market in Geed was there as the one thief working for the Grenade Watermelon dude, and it was like a two-parter with him, and then like after that,
You had
it's
like
gone
3
weird.
two-part monsters
Yeah.
already.
So I mean, like they're trying to carry it over. You know, shows are trying to carry over. It's kind of feeling very writer-esque.
Mhm.
Something I do like is that they in both Rider and Sentai, they're not introducing power-up item and using all of its functions in the same episode it debuts. They're actually spacing it out because like Lupin Red got the Scissors and Blade Dial Fighter in one episode, used it in just the vehicle mode. Then the next episode, he actually used it as as like weapon final attack and as the mecha combo. So I like the spacing of that because it feels less rushed and less toy commercial that way.
Yeah, and that's the way you sort of need to do it when you have like these gimmicks that are supposed to be, serving a purpose while being also a toy product.
Right, and then like they kind of did that when they introduced Cyclone and Biker, because like Biker got used for the finisher 1 week, the next week Cyclone got used as a finisher, and then Biker got used as the mecha, and then the week after Cyclone got used as the mecha. So it was like 3 week. It was like a 3-part story arc with those two vehicles being introduced.
Indeed, but
Yeah, like
the
I
best
think that
part-
like the biggest issue is that they, I gotta say, when they first started the show, I was not happy with its story building because the first 2 episodes were very, hey, we're gonna be super Lupin heavy, and then every episode since then has felt actually like 50-50 split or 60-40.
Yeah, it's been more like 60-40 is more like it because the Lupin Rangers have more of a storyline going on because they have more at stake, while the Pata Rangers are much like how Decker Ranger didn't have like a continuing plot or anything. This is the day-to-day lives of a police officer. They're just there to blow up the monster. It doesn't really matter. Like they're there to save civilians, blow up monster. They're not like they don't have any personal stake in anything. They're just doing their duty, while the Lupin Rangers, their entire mission is all personal based. So there's more of a storyline to build up there.
Yeah, and it's funny because I gotta say they weren't really trying to build off of any of the real stories until recently.
They've done a really good job of like developing the show to kind of get you acclimated to the characters in the world, and then to work with those chess pieces that they've introduced.
And we all know the worst character on the show is Jim. It's obviously Jim Cotta.
Oh no, not Jim
But I
Carter.
love that robot.
But it's Jim Cotta. Come on. Jim
Robot.
Cotta. No, remember the shitty 80s movie or 70s movie, Jim Cotta?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But the
I
best
see
part,
that
though-
movie when I see that robot.
I love the robot that has to fold its arms in so it doesn't lose balance.
That's funny. But the best part is obviously, the bays.
There's only a Bay, and her name is Sango.
Oh, Tsukasa. Well, Japan really loves Umika, but that's because she was in Morning Matsume, so
Yeah, if you're an idol group, you're immediately gonna get over, though.
that's true.
I mean,
That is
seriously,
true.
if you're in an idol group, it's always win-win. You can't lose there unless you do something like what's her face from Kamen Rider Double, who got like kicked out, and then the other chick who got kicked out for dating the guy who sung the Fies opening or
Wait,
whatever
what?
it was. With AKB48, their fiascos that they've had in the past.
Always.
Always
always
AKB48 too, that they
fiasco.
always have some kind of fiasco. You'd think by now they'd shut down because they keep fucking up.
Well, the thing is though,
You think they change your policies, Wheels? It's the policies they need to change.
it's
not-
yeah, like I think they've changed their dating policy or something like that, and they don't make the girls shave their heads in a classic form of attrition anymore. Well,
Yeah,
contrition,
because
not
when
attrition,
when they did that, they got the eyes of the world on them, and they're like, "That's really bad what you guys did."
Well, yeah, because that's like a very old school way of showing your repentance or like or whatever, and like yeah, that's kind of draconian, even for Japan. So.
Well, I mean, the fact that it made international news, yeah, of course. It was.
Well, of course,
deemed
because
bad.
international news loves AKB48 because they are the end all be all of idol groups.
It's like that New York branch that never happened.
They kind of are. That's the thing.
Yeah, they are. Like there's a bunch of other ones that are gaining popularity like internationally. Like I know one is well, they're not really like the traditional pop idol group, but like another one is like Baby Metal that's really making waves.
Yeah, because
overseas.
they're a pop group that also specializes in J-rock.
And don't forget, Rob Zombie has like a major hard on for them, so he took them on tour.
I mean, like a lot. Like it's funny. There's a guy that I used to know. Well, I still technically know him, but I just blocked him from my Facebook wall. Who like viciously hates Baby Metal. He's such an asshole about it. Like this guy's been blocked from so many rock groups because he's so vile towards Baby Metal, and everyone's just like, dude, it's rock music and pop music. It's like the perfect fusion and blend. It works. Get that stick out of your ass, you filthy Canadian. Oh, yeah, by the way, he is a filthy Canadian.
Oh, you weren't talking about metal?
Yeah, you know what's weird? Why is it that like the only nice Canadians I know are technically Projekt? and Matty J? Like, why are they the only good Canadians where Metal, this guy that, hates Baby Metal, and Jory are like the evil Canadians, as well as Renz?
We don't speak of Renz.
Who's that?
Yeah, who's that? Whose man's is that? It's a ghost.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
We do not speak of the Renz.
Don't make me throw a dolly at his bus.
Okay there. Okay, Project McGregor.
He's gonna make it up here's the power Morphin on wheels. He's gonna throw a wheelchair at a bus.
No, the worst part is you're gonna throw me in the wheelchair at like Keith Justice. Who the fuck are you?
So Project, we had to get into a fight with somebody at Morphicon.
That could happen. It's very possible. You know that, right? It almost happened the last time we were at Morphin, so.
Yeah, because my friend said on this trip we have to get in a minimum of 3 fights.
Oh, I'm sure that can be arranged.
I'm done.
3 is. It'll be at least 6. It'll be at least 6 of those.
There's gonna be 9 when you add Ben because ethnicity and protocol and the fact we're in LA.
So Kyurangers, but represented as fights.
Yeah, for every Kyuranger, there must be a fight equal to that color, or whichever number, whatever color number. Yeah.
Does that mean the pink fight just is only there for a couple minutes and then just never seen again?
Yes, exactly. It'll be like a 2-minute cutaway.
Well, what about the hammy fight? It's always there and very lovely, but doesn't get a whole lot of development and just kind of happens.
So you mean the Anchorman brawl?
No, you mean the Garu brawl?
Yeah. Which is the same thing, only blue and even less.
Wait, which brawl sound out?
The Garu brawl. Okami Blue.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
It's the same as the hammy brawl, but even less and blue.
I mean, it's sad when Scooby-Doo has a bigger impact on the plot than freaking Garu did.
Wait,
they're both dogs.
But yeah, no, I'm just sitting here now. I'm like, well, if Project's gonna super kick the guys that said we don't like the Iconics and Keith's going through a table. Yeah, there's gonna be over 9. There's gonna be at least 9 fights. Yeah.
Well, Wheelz 10. You know why?
Because there has to be that moment where you betray me.
No. Me and Dan Software have unfinished business.
Oh God, here we go again. Round 2.
Maybe 11, because yeah, you're probably right. I probably will betray you.
Wait, how many not Kyurangers, Kyurangers are there again? Isn't there 13? 12?
12, right?
Yeah, we're having 12 then. There's gonna be 12. It's gonna be 12.
Wait, which one's the kid fight?
I'm not gonna lie, the Jeopardy music is going off in my head. I'm sitting there like, what would be the kid fight representation? One that starts out very big, but then shrinks down to being very small.
No, the other way around.
I mean, it works the same way because like they put all this hype into his character and then he kind of does nothing.
I mean, he did actually more than Garu.
Anyone can do more than Garu. Even Oshi Black did more than Garu.
Oshi Black did a whole lot in that show.
I mean, he did so much that Garu was proven to be a dumb dog when he didn't realize it was just Champ wearing a mask.
Yeah, no, the thing is, like, Champ had so many, like, he had 3 subplots all to himself. Plus, he was partnered with Stinger for the entire show, and also got, like, 5/6 of a movie, just him and Stinger. Like, he got a ton of focus.
Yeah, when you put it that way, this discussion of fights became a Kyuranger discussion, which is perfect anyways, same shit.
And also, like, Balance and Naga were just above everybody else for having a whole plot arc.
I mean, a lover's qual?
Yeah.
The Vulcan and his robosexual life partner.
And then also just, like, I think in the order of story arcs, Lucky was just the show. Like I put Lucky and Tsurugi as, like, you can break everybody down into pairs of 2, right? So, like, Lucky and Tsurugi were just, like, the number 1 red plot, right?
Yeah, they're like the heart of the show. They were the heart of the show.
Exactly. Then you got Balance and Naga. Then you got Champ and Stinger. Then you have Champ and Stinger. Then after them,
you have like Shouran
really
Po and Oguma Sky Blue. Then you have Hammy, and then at the end you have Washi Pink.
Well, no, because you're forgetting a couple people. So
am I?
Yeah. So like after like Champ and Stinger, you have Kotaro and Sho. Then after them, it's
Hammy.
It's Spada and.
Oh yeah, that guy. No, Spada doesn't have any shit to do.
He's like, I want to be the chef.
No,
I want to be best
Spada
chef.
and Raptor have some, and they have a connected subplot, so that's good. And then there's just Hammy and Garu, who are just like the woman and the pet dog. But then again, this could all change in August when Hammy becomes the lead focal plot point of the whole movie.
When she becomes super secret agent babe.
And everyone's having a civil war over her. She's gonna raise up that ranking a little bit. That whole thing's gonna change.
Hey, Soundout, every time I watch the trailer, I just hear the Captain America Civil War theme going off. As they're fighting each other.
Infinity War was the most ambitious crossover ever.
Well, no.
Kyuranger versus Space Squad.
It's so ambitious. They don't even think about like going, hey Sharavan, could you delay your retirement for just a few more months?
Nope. Now we got a new red metal hero, Jiraiya.
We just brought Jiraiya back from retirement.
You know what's funny? I don't know if anybody's noticed this, but Kyuranger versus Space Squad has the same basic plot outline as Deca Ranger 10 years after. Does it though? Yes. Okay. So, one of the team members is suspected of doing something evil or turning evil. No, one of the team members is told that everyone's been told like one of their team members has turned evil, and then some of the team believes that they're not evil, and some of the team believes that they are evil, as well as having like new characters show up out of nowhere. And then everybody fights over it until they eventually all team up together and just win the day because that person that defected from the team is not actually evil.
Oh, so it literally is every versus movie we've ever seen.
I mean, it's literally Deca Ranger 10 years after, except beefed up with metal heroes and
old Sentai villains. And the fact that we're probably actually going to get an actual cameo by freaking Mao as Luca, most likely, just to fight Bosco or something.
Oh, and then on top of that, Kyuranger vs. Space Squad spawns the greatest Sentai special of all time. So,
You mean Space Squad in general?
No, Hero Mama League.
Oh, yeah. MILF Sentai, the movie.
I mean, it's a Kyuranger vs. Space Squad prequel.
You know what the sad part is, though? If they could have just held off a year, we could have added 2 more MILFs.
Oh yeah, Boken Pink and Boken Yellow.
Yeah, because they can't get Time Pink back.
Nope. Well, hey, last year we got, a bunch of, Sakamoto fan service with, hot chicks and, legs. And this year we're getting MILFs, so you know what?
But that's probably another thing of Sakamoto's fan service.
You know what? I love this man, so thumbs up. And it's great because one of them's Maggie Pink, who is one of my waifus back in the day. So
We should just start making a list of like what is Sakamoto's kinks.
we know hot chicks,
So you know, it's Magic
legs.
Blue, bro. Magic Blue.
Oh no, I like Maggie Ranger. I actually like them both. So
Civil War,
It's funny
Project,
'cause I
Invisible
showed my
Ninja,
mom
War
the
of the
trailer for
Canadians.
the Hero Mama League,
Wheels,
and
don't
she's
worry,
like,
Hero Club is fine, Wheels. Hero Club is fine.
You
This
say
is the
this
funny
now,
part.
but Power Morphin Con is coming.
So
Yeah,
I showed my mom the
that's
trailer for Hero.
Club,
for
but it's
the-
not also a rap group.
Okay, so you showed your mom.
So I showed my mom the trailer for Hero Mama League, right? And she's like, I only recognize one of those three women, but this is going to be amazing.
Well, how is it that she only recognizes one of those three women? She should have seen both of these women by now.
She recognized Deca Yellow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But she should have been able to recognize Nao Nagasawa if you've watched Forze with her, or
Yeah,
Double.
but the thing is that she looks different in Forza. Because she had glasses and had like different.
I mean,
like
did-
long hair.
Wait,
I
did your
she
mo-
can't
wait,
always
did
be
your-
thought Nagasawa.
Wait, did your mom not watch with you Gokaiger either?
No, she watched Gokaiger, but it's also been 7 years.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
well, in that time in logic compared to us, it's been 1 week since you looked at me. You know,
But yeah,
like
no,
I said,
it's been 7 years since Gokaiger. It's been 6 years since Forza. It's been 6 weeks since I watched something Deca Ranger related with her. So, plus Deca Yellow's been in so much stuff that it's hard to forget her.
I mean, she is the voice of Tits the Rose Dragon. I mean, Akiza of the Rose Dragon.
Also, she was in Double as well as being in Gokaiger, as well as being in Space Squad, as well as in Deca Ranger 10 years after, as well as Girls in Trouble. Like, Deca Yellow's been in so much compared to, like, now. Like, now has just been in, like, 2 things.
No, Now's been in a lot of things. Just your mom hasn't seen it yet.
Oh, what my mom's seen, it's only been, like, 2 things. And, like, Jasmine's been in, like, 7.
Seven.
So there's
seven,
a huge
seven,
difference there.
7. You know, I'm seeing 7 as being a trope in this episode, as well as 12. But we'll get there later.
Wake you up, just you can do
No,
it.
no, not
So
that
much
7.
better.
Not that
Speaking of
7.
which, did anybody get Gundam Unicorn flashbacks watching Legends of Tomorrow? Or is that just me?
When? At what point? When?
Like I was
Where?
gonna say, like how?
Specify.
when they were going over Ava's backstory.
Oh, because she's like a plel.
Because she's a 12.
Yeah,
Oh,
She's
yeah.
literally the 12th Ava, and I was just like, wait.
Oh, yeah, when they said... I said...
And I'm like, wait, 12? Okay, who's the Gundam fan that's on the writing team? I need to know.
No, when he's like, how many Avas have you been through? 12. I was like, hey, Marita Cruz.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that was like, okay, so who on that writing staff is a Gundam fan? Because that is not an accident.
Sound I will never stop calling this Voltron. Make me.
No, Bebo forever.
Yeah, well, that's because he drank too much of that root. He was too high. He was tripping balls, man.
Oh, yeah.
Nate was tripping balls in that entire final battle. So here's what I wanted to say. It just reminded me. But fun fact. You know, we've been talking a lot about anime. I got to bring this up because fact that Visible Ninja is like a fan of their Tomoko Rescue series, the old Tokusatsu series that they had, right? Yeah, so they brought it back, but Metal was like, but Wheelz, this is an anime, and he was like so pissed that he shows me the trailer, and I'm like, hey, Metal, why is this just a Transformers like ripoff? Because it's like kids piloting transformable vehicles that transform into like Shinkalon like transformation mechas that they pilot like Gundam.
I'm like, because it's Takara, that's why.
Yeah, so pretty much Takara made these kids now a part of like the rescue force that have like transforming vehicles that are like mechas and transformers.
Well, it's called what Tomika Hyper Rescue Driver or something.
Driver head, yeah. But it's so
Driver
funny
head,
though,
yeah.
they brought back that because I remember the copy for the IP or whatever showed up a couple of weeks ago, and everyone thought a new live action was gonna happen.
Yeah, like a
And
new
then-
like full on rescue.
And then they're
force
like, nah, fam, it's only an anime.
Well, look, because that's kind of the kick in the face, because we got Rescue Force, then Rescue Fire. Then there was a third rumored series that was going to come after that was going to be like marine rescues, boats and shit, like diving and everything. But then it was killed in favor of bringing Transformers animated over, and that did way better than either of the Rescue Force shows, so it was killed dead.
That is kind of ironic, though, when you think about it, because
Yeah.
animated over here didn't do good the first season, and it didn't pick up till, what was it, a couple of episodes after, like, into season 2, or the end of season 1, still. You know, that's still always an interesting discussion to talk about, because...
Hey guys, I just had a brilliant idea.
What?
You know what we should do while we're waiting for the Gundam live stream on Friday? Watch Endless Waltz.
Do you want me to kill myself?
Yes, I want to hear you scream. While
God damn it! So we're gonna have our little insane party where we all watch Endless Waltz, and then right as it ends, we just all kill ourselves and take our cyanide pills.
Like literally, we make like a giant Gundam viewing party. Like we just watch every terrible Gundam movie ever made.
We start with F91.
Now, good sir, that is not a bad Gundam movie. It's just misunderstood and underrated.
No, it's horrible because production was like, yeah, Tommy, no, you're fucked.
On that thing where, yeah, it's like way too compressed. The animation is beautiful though, and it did lead to something that's way better, i.e. Crossbone. But yeah,
there's two things to get out of that movie: pretty animation and Crossbone.
Like it's a shame because I really want to see what a full F91 would have been.
Good God, what if that's what comes? What if that's what they?
Yeah, I doubt it. But
that'd be the greatest plot twist ever.
Like
F91, the series.
Yet because we really wanted to actually make F91.
We actually wanted to try this time.
Like the first season is F91, then the second season is like Crossbone or something.
Yeah.
Pretty much we're saying we actually wanted to try this time.
Compilation movies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it had those, didn't it?
Those were awful.
Is it as bad as the Stardust Memory ones?
No, I think it's worse. Mostly because they try to condense a 50-episode series into 3 hours.
Yeah, because it's like 2 movies, isn't it?
It's 2 90-minute movies, not even like full 2-hour movies.
So you're saying like how like when Sentai
over, like,
and Rider tried to do clip shows back in the day?
Basically.
I mean, hey, the first round of compilation movies were kind of the reason why Gundam is still a thing now. So they're like, well, let's just keep doing this shit. And then we got the Zeta ones, which are like, oh my god, it's Zeta, but with sort of like maybe new footage every like now and again.
Except for the third movie, which was like, yep, we reanimated half the movie.
No, if I recall, they got at least a production of 60% for it, or 80%.
Yeah, the last movie was like 60% new footage.
And like, someone just run a charity drive and just reanimate the other 40%. Like,
yeah,
you're so close.
And you go back in time to introduce Kickstarter just so they could get the money.
Like, damn it, Tomino, get the money, make these movies right.
Make these movies great again.
You know what was honestly a surprisingly good compilation? The Wing compilation OVAs. Because I watched those the other day.
Nah.
And it's 4-hour-long episodes that compile the story of Wing. The first 2 cover the first half of the series, the second 2 cover the second half. And they actually, like, the second 2 actually feature new footage, which was kind of interesting, of, like, the aftermath of the final battle.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like, it was interesting because what they did, instead of just, like, trying to compress the show into a shorter runtime, they ended up just segmenting it into specific character pieces. So it's like, you know, they like, all right, here's the Hero Yui section, and do like his whole story arc for the first half of the show. Then it'd go to Troa, then Wu Fei, then the next episode would be Duo and Catra, and then everybody else would get kind of lumped together. I was like, that's a really cool way to compile things, because then it's like you're actually kind of getting some cohesion.
You know what would be a funny-ass thing? To see if someone tried to do a compilation film for Kyurangers, since there's like, 60 or 70 episodes? I don't think that'd be fathomable.
84.
Okay, so even more. So, like I said, though, that would be...
And they have 6 movies, 5 of which are just theatrical versions of episodes.
Yeah, that's the sad part. Like, imagine just trying to do compilation films for Tokusatsu. It would not work. Not work at all. You'd like, what the hell are we watching?
It would be even worse than compilation movies for Gundam.
Like, you know what's funny? It's like when Power Rangers tried to release, you know, multi-parters as a movie back in the day, like on VHS.
Yeah.
And they would, like, actually skip out of, like, say, an episode that wasn't too key to the arc, but it was sort of like, you know, like in the space.
Right.
Like, remember when they released this?
Yeah, when movie that skips over the little girl episode.
Yeah, like it's a bad, it is a bad episode, and it doesn't really do much to the overall plot. But like you notice it, and you're like, hey, that's missing. Or how they actually like cut out the opening battle, I think, to the actual Psycho Ranger battle where they fight the owl monster, the Neji Owl. They just cut that part out and just go right into the episode, and you're like, that's not what happened.
But it's also like Owl Monster wasn't needed, so.
Yeah, it wasn't needed to begin with, but they used it as a basis for the Psycho Ranger footage of them, to explain why the Psycho Rangers were looking at that footage to memorize their attacks.
Right.
Which makes sense. They were like, oh, we got to use this unused Mega Ranger footage because, yeah, it's kind of necessary to the overall plot of the Psycho Rangers database file.
But yeah, no, it's funny because like they cut the episode with Carlos and the little girl, but they kept the Psycho Ranger fight from that episode.
No, I don't think they fully kept the entire fight from that episode, dude.
They didn't keep the entire fight, but they kept part of it.
Are you sure? Because that was with the lizard monster. No, I don't think they kept it at all. I think they referenced it, but they don't show it.
No, because they actually did show it, but they put it as a part of another fight. It's really confusing. I need to find that VHS again.
It is very confusing.
Yeah, because I remember they were doing like some really crazy crap with that, and they did it also again with Lost Galaxy, but it just abruptly ends after they get the the Galaxy Megazord, or I should say the Galaxy Beast, the Galactic Beast. They just get it, and then it abruptly ends and says next time on Power Rangers, and it's like they're gonna release the other volumes, and then like I think they did release the volumes, but they were just so scarce to find later on because I think it was in Lost Galaxy and
because they had that one that ends with the Galactic Beast, and then the next one was like the second half of the Lights of Orion arc with the Magna Defender, and then them getting the lights. So it just skipped over part of the show.
This is the funniest thing, is that they were trying to actually release the entire series on home video, but like I think they just didn't actually distribute or release them good enough, the actual single volumes, because it wasn't until like Time Force they actually had like a chronological set of volumes like they did Digimon, but they were just hard to find in like your actual video distributor, like at Walmart or FYE, because that was the one thing I found weird about Fox programs, was Fox programs actually used the hard Disney plastic cases, rather than the typical, if it's just a 3-episode compilation cardboard box. Because you notice that, right? Like a lot of shows back then, if it was just compilation of episodes, you get the cardboard box. If you're an actual feature-length film, you get the nice plastic, like, Disney boxes. But Fox tried to do that with all of their releases.
Speaking of Disney, can we talk about how annoying Disney's DVDs of Power Rangers were?
Yeah, we should, because I don't even remember how annoying they were.
They had 3 to 4 episodes each, and each series got 5 volumes, and that was it. And so that means that you got like, a good 65% of the season, but not the other part. It'd be like, all right, they're like, oh, we did 5 DVDs, we're done.
Yeah. Like, what was it? Like, Operation Overdrive was the first series to, be completely released on DVD.
Yeah, and that's because they put I think 8 episodes per DVD, and they did only 5 volumes, but it's almost like the guys making the DVDs were like cut off after 5 volumes every year, and they're just like, wait, why don't we just put more episodes on?
Exactly. Let's just cram more episodes on, and boom, there she is.
And then Jungle Fear only got 2, and RPM only got 2, so whatever.
Well, which is moot now because of Shout Factory, but
no, you know what's
Shout Factory? Operation Overdrive was the only Power Rangers series completely released on home video.
No, you want to know what's funny though that I was trying to say is one thing that I really do hate though is the Lionsgate releases of Power Rangers. Those are stupid as fuck.
Okay, so
those are all the ones from Samurai Up, if I remember.
Yeah, let's talk about the business strategy here. You have 5 volumes for the series. Then the Halloween special is on its own DVD, packed in with older episodes of Power Rangers that happen to follow along the same holiday. And then the Christmas episode is done in the same format, so you're buying 7 DVDs that cost $15 a piece. Some places you can get them for $10. That's like $70 for a 22-episode season.
Oh,
yeah, and then if I recall correctly, in one of the DVD sets that I got, they actually included the Halloween and the Christmas episode. But then on the opposite season, they decide, we're not going to do it for this season, though.
So here's how this worked out. With Samurai, Super Samurai, Mega Force, Super Mega Force, Dino Charge, Dino Supercharge, they did not release any of the holiday specials in the complete season sets.
Which, is kind of no big loss personally, but
And also, they just
Really
repurposed
isn't.
the singular, and also
because they're literally just clip shows with some like bullshit like linking
Except for
material.
the Dino Charge ones. The Dino Charge ones had a lot of new footage for some reason.
Well, that is true. Yeah.
And here's the funny thing. Here's the thing that I also don't like is that they also just take the individual volumes and just repackage them in a new box rather than just compressing them down into like less DVDs.
The annoying part is not that they do that. The annoying part is that you spend $50 buying all of Super Mega Force for 2 months later them to release the entire season for $10.
That's another screw you. I think one thing I also didn't like about them was that like because they just repurposed the DVDs in those sets like that, you have so many of like the having to skip through the actual menus of the trailers for all their previous Power Rangers release on DVDs. Like, you can get Super Samurai, you can get Super Mega Force, you can get Samurai, yada yada yada, and it was getting ridiculous.
There's one good thing Lionsgate did. They put out a season on Blu-ray, and it was like $20. But all it was Super Samurai, and they never did it again.
Probably because everyone had just bought the DVDs and didn't want to fucking buy the Blu-ray.
That was when they released the Blu-ray for Super Samurai. They hadn't released any Super Samurai DVDs. They'd only released Samurai DVDs.
Then that's really contradicting.
Yeah, the Power Rangers fandom just didn't want to pay for Blu-ray for some reason.
Maybe they knew we wouldn't pay for Blu-ray.
But we did get that, and here's the thing. Here's the thing with Lionsgate. Luckily, I get to skip out on the Samurai, Super Samurai, Mega Force releases because I got the Power Rangers Legacy helmet from Shout Factory. So that all got rolled into that set, so I didn't have to buy all these individual volumes and individual holiday specials, right? But I have Dino Charge. Dino Charge was done well because the holiday specials were included on the 4th and 5th volumes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like in one of the sets I got, it actually has the specials.
That's where that was the one time the holiday specials were actually included were Dino Charge. They were included with volume 4 and 5 as quote unquote bonus episodes, which was really smart. So the Dino Charge was good, but then Dino Supercharge, they did a really smart thing of putting 10 episodes on each volume, so there was only 2 volumes. But to this day, we still don't have the 2 holiday specials from Supercharge.
That's the one that I was missing. Okay, I was correct. Okay, so I was right earlier when I stated that I did get a...
So it seems they've shifted their focus from volumes to season releases, because now everything has a complete season set from Lionsgate. And there's even double packs of Samurai, Mega Force, and Dino Charge. But we're still missing 2 holiday specials.
Yeah, that is kind of confusing.
I kind of hope, and this is like my hope, is that for the fall we start getting Ninja Steel DVDs, because we haven't gotten any of those yet. And that they put out like Ninja Steel Complete Season, it's just the 20 episodes, right? And then they do a Halloween release for the Halloween Ninja Steel episode. No, like, or even the Super Ninja Steel episode. Whatever it is, I kind of want to see like, the way to do it is just like release like, maybe wait till next year and do like a Halloween DVD that has the Ninja Steel, Super Ninja Steel, and Dino Supercharge Halloween specials. Then do one for Christmas that has the other 3 corresponding ones. That way it just kind of wraps in all the holiday specials plus picks up the ones that they missed.
Yeah, because like honestly, I think Lionsgate's trying to figure out that they've been screwing up by doing the volume game because no one really wants to buy the volumes anymore, especially with like Netflix at least uploading 8 to 10 of the first half of the current airing season, and then after the season airs, like a month or 2 later, they'll upload the rest of that season. I mean, it is kind of a weird idea to do with the syndication upload to Netflix, how they've done it so far since Dino Charge, but it seems to be somewhat working.
It is. And the thing is, too, is you can't do the 5-episode DVD volume thing anymore. It just doesn't work in this market.
Because why
people
also
are
the Digimon stuff failed.
They're getting it for a collection purpose. They're not getting it just casually.
And that's like I said, why Digimon Savers failed here. They tried that shit when it was transitioning into that era of you can't just release like volumes like that, especially if it's not got any special features.
Right, and the thing is, with volume stuff, like I think the things that are acceptable are like Warner Brothers with their shows, like their animated shows. They'll do 13 episodes on a volume or 26 episodes on a volume. So, like, with Justice League Action, they put the first 26 on one DVD set and the second 26 on another DVD set, and there's your complete season, and it costs you, like, $20, $25. Wait, that's...
Yeah, I don't know for sure.
It's fine to split it in half like that. That doesn't really bother me.
Yeah, and, like, I think right now you can't get away with something like, a volume set on Power Rangers. I don't think you can get away with a volume set like that unless it is like a show that has already a good library of episodes. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's like these Cartoon Network shorts, like 5-8 minutes, you should be able to get like episodes on a disc, like several episodes of several.
Yeah,
shorts.
I mean, like with the 11-minute shows, Justice League Action, Teen Titans Go, Ben 10, they each have like 20 to 26 episodes per $10 volume.
Yeah, and if you can't even get like more than 5 episodes of a 30-minute show on disc, like what the hell? Like what?
Yeah, that's what bugged me about the Nick TMNT releases too. They were all over the place. Cause like this is like the weird thing with that is that they did volumes for Nick TMNT. They did a couple compilations, like they did a complete season 1 box set. They did a complete season 1 and 2 box set, but they didn't do anything beyond that. But of the 5 seasons and 124 episodes, the DVD releases were kind of ridiculous. So, this is one time Wikipedia doesn't have an actual list for this.
Because Wikipedia doesn't even know that it exists, probably. It's just like how the new series, we're not going to even be able to see it because John Cena's in it. So if John Cena's in it, we can't see it.
Okay, so here's the thing. They did a complete season 1, a complete... Oh, wait, no, that's region 2. Never mind.
Well, Soundout, just like Nikki Bella, you can't see it.
Okay, so here's how the DVDs worked, and I'm just going to Amazon. The most compiled the series got was a complete season 1 and 2 set. Okay, so here's the problem with the Nick TMNT DVDs. First problem, they're not numbered at all. They're literally just a bunch of titles, and you have to go figure it out for yourself. That's obnoxious, right?
Oh, like it's like volume names, and then it doesn't actually give you a specific episode list?
Right, no, like the first one's called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Rise of the Turtles. And then season 1, volume 2 is Enter Shredder, and season 1, volume 3 is Ultimate Showdown. Like, they don't actually tell you, they don't give you.
Oh, you mean like the other one, Monsters and Mutants?
Right. So here's the problem. Season 1, volume 1 contains 6 episodes, okay? Season 1, volume 2 contains, thank you people on Amazon product reviews, by the way.
You know what I'm realizing? Like, a lot of these old school, taglines are like the taglines they tried to do on the Power Rangers VHS releases, or, the other Fox show releases, like, what is it, for Time Force, or like Time of Destiny or something for like the 3-parter, Power Rangers.
Yeah, okay, so like Enter Shredder had like 6 episodes as well, alright? Then, no, okay, so Enter Shredder had 7 episodes, and then Ultimate Showdown is a 2-disc set that has 12 episodes. So you have like half the season in 2 volumes and half the season in 1 volume, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then we switch over to season 2, where we have Mutant Jin Mayhem, which has 6 episodes. Then we have Showdown Dimension X, which has 7 episodes. Then we have Ultimate Showdown? Ultimate Showdown, which has 13 episodes. No, wait, Ultimate Showdown was the first season.
Who knows? It's kind of confusing because, like, there's a title that says Good, Bad, and the Chasey
6,
Jones.
7, and 13. That was kind of the technique there. Then it gets worse when you get to season 4. Okay, so the first 3 seasons ran like that. Season 4, you had Beyond the Known Universe, which contained the first 12 episodes, which is the entire space arc on 2 discs. So it starts with a 12-episode volume. Then we have Earth's Last Stand, which is, I think that one's only, let's see, what's the runtime? That one's only like 5 episodes. And then the last arc of season 4, which is the Super Shredder arc, is under Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Super Shredder, and it contains the last arc of season 4, which is Super Shredder, plus the first 4 episodes of season 5, which is like the sequel to the Super Shredder arc. And then there's a 3-episode volume, or the 3 or 4 episode volume of Wanted Bebop and Rocksteady, which merges the 3-parter into 1 movie plus an extra bonus episode. And then the last, 12 episodes get put on Ninja Turtles The Final Chapters, the only clear volume title in the whole thing.
That's That's ludicrous. That's terrible.
Oh, it gets worse. Wanted Bebop and Rocksteady was actually the last aired episode, but it's on the second volume for season 5. The Mutant Apocalypse was meant to be the finale, but it's the first episodes on final chapters.
Yeah, I heard that they released it terribly, like even broadcasting it and et cetera, et cetera. Like they had a lot of issues because they produced the finale before they actually did the actual finale. Like you had the finale, then you had the Mad Max tribute, but because of production order, they aired stuff in and out of order or released it in and out of order.
So the way it was supposed to go was Super Shredder sequel, then When Worlds Collide, then the Usagi, then the Monsters story arc, then the Bebop and Rocksteady, then the Mad Max. But it ended up airing as Super Shredder, Worlds Collide, Usagi, Mad Max, Monsters, then Bebop and Rocksteady, because the Bebop and Rocksteady episodes got released on DVD first, like 3 months before they actually aired. So you have all that beforehand, and then it all ends. And so, like, on the DVD, on the Final Chapters DVD, it starts with Worlds Collide, then goes into Monsters, then goes into Apocalypse, then it goes into Usagi to finish the series.
Yeah, okay, this is funny because this is at least worse than what Funimation did, where they're like, well, hey guys, we're gonna start releasing VHSs of Dragon Ball Z before it actually even airs on Cartoon Network, and say they're never before seen episodes, even though the reason they're never before seen episodes is because we're releasing them before they actually hit the broadcast date.
I mean, it's literally what it is, because like they literally promoted the Wanted Bebop and Rocksteady DVD as not seen on TV, see it first on DVD. It was also a $15 DVD that contained 3 episodes.
That's bullshit. But like I said, like that's the one thing about we got off tangent because of TMNT because it's so long and big and ridiculous. But
look, let's not get started on the original series or the 2003
Oh yeah,
release,
no, the
because
reason
they're even worse.
the reason we were talking about DVD releases though is like because like Lionsgate was doing it wrong, but Shout Factory can do it right because they are better releasing. I guess the best way to say is archival like shows, like old shows.
They're better at releasing things in general.
Distributing like just vintage stuff that just needs to be redistributed in general.
And the fact that we're getting now a new Sentai DVD set every 3 months. I mean, I don't care if the subtitles aren't like the best. We're getting a new Sentai DVD set every 3 months. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, like I do like though, like at least some fans are realizing that because they are trying to speed up their production rate, that they are noticing that they are suffering a little bit, but it's not detouring fans nonetheless. Because like I was telling you, I was telling you at first it was a timing issue, and then even Brian Ward said, oh, it has to be a timing issue with how your player does it. Right. But then more people started having the issue that wasn't just timing. And then it revealed that there was a little bit of QC timing at fault, not just your player at fault at reading the subs.
And then there's some people that like complain when like there was like some complaints on Twitter that I saw that I thought were kind of legitimate, was that like the choice of words for roll call phrases kind of lessened the impact of them.
Oh yeah, that too was another issue because I heard like
it was the Go-Go 5 like
issue.
It didn't have like burning heart or whichever the phrase was. Like, they didn't use, like, the English word. They actually picked something else. Which, again, that's up to a translator. Like, that's just what it is. And, yeah, if you like your old fan subs, keep your old fan subs. But it is important to support Sentai in America because if the DVDs stop selling well, then we'll stop getting them. And then that kind of, like, closes the doors on future things like simulcasting.
Now, the one thing I will say is the funniest still is that they're probably going to announce a physical release for Ultraman Leo after they do the Twitch stream because they got the license to have it on their website. They're doing a Twitch broadcast of it. So that must mean they have a physical release coming.
Possibly.
I mean, like, what the hell's going on? Like,
the only problem is that Ultra Q and Ultra 7 didn't sell that well.
Yeah, and I think one of the problems that it didn't do so well was the original market price for them.
They were out of my price range to randomly pick up an Ultraman show I'd never seen.
Like, I remember, what was it, when Ultra 7 first came out, it was like $60, I think, when it first came out.
It was $50.
Yeah, it was $50 to $60. And while some people said, "Oh, you're paying like $1 an episode because it's like if seven's like a 37 to almost 50 episode series." I thought it was still a
Ultra
little
Q is still $37, and that's more than I'm willing to pay.
It's a little bit more expensive than I thought.
Ultra 7's currently $35.
Yeah, Ultra 7 dropped down to a more reasonable price for how many episodes are on that disc. But I think a lot of fans were spoiled by the Mills Creek release of the original series at $8.
Which is a shitty ass release.
This is a terrible release, to be honest with you.
Ultra 7 is 49 episodes, so $35 for 49 episodes is not bad.
Yeah, and like Ultra Q, at how much is it now? For like only like 30 episodes?
35. It's basically 35.
Yeah, because Ultra Q was a shorter series too. It was
28 episodes.
28. So it's 35. You're saying 35 isn't too bad for it, but at the same time, it's what is it? Just black and white and subtitled. It doesn't even have the alternate color version. So it's hard to say to Western fans that it's worth it at that price. I mean, for me, since I've never actually seen the series entirely fan subbed, it was worth it to get it at that price, because at that point it's like you're not going to see it really anywhere else.
And credit where credit is due, $38 for a Sentai show on DVD is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like, when they first did, Kyurangers market price, like, when we see the market price, like, when they first did Kyuranger, and that market price came out at, like, $49.99, a lot of fans were like, that's ridiculous.
This price on these is $60.
Yeah,
but
like
everyone
60
marks it down to at least 40.
Yeah, and when the price first came out as, like, the 60, I remember you and me were a little skeptical at first. We were like, excuse me?
I was like, wait. I remember at the time I was like, is this list price or is this actual price?
And that was the biggest issue. And a lot of people were still pissy with us when we kind of rose the issue, because everyone's like, well, if it's like a 50-something episode, it's like they always use that excuse, it's $1 an episode. And I'm like, but still, think of the actual regular basic market.
And this is the thing for me, is like, I put $1 per episode on the fact that I will pay $1 per episode per half-hour show if it's an American TV show. $2 per episode for an hour-long show, American TV show. You bring in factor anime and toku as being Japanese productions that have to be licensed separately with a separate group that has to translate it in order for it to be released. Then we start factoring in things. Like for anime, I always factor in dubs. Is like, okay, having a dub on a release doubles the number of episodes basically, because you're getting two versions of the same show, but that means your 13-episode Blu-ray is actually a 26-episode Blu-ray, and if it's a combo pack, then you got to factor in that part of the cost.
Exactly. But when it's Sentai, it's just a DVD release, nothing special. They stopped giving us special features, bonuses, and whatnot.
There's only ever one bonus feature, and that was because they could afford a panel at Morphin.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they never tried anything else spectacular, and even then, I would think they would try to, and this is not me like viciously knocking them, but it's me as like one of those guys that like, I like how some DVD collections will have different menus per each disc, but the fact that each menu on every disc is the same menu but different disc art is kind of what the hell to me.
I don't mind like the menus are all the same, because in the end I just end up spending like 5 minutes, or like 5 minutes at most on a menu, just flipping through episodes. It is cool when there's individual disc menus, but that also makes things more expensive. I think a great thing that we as Toku fans in America should appreciate the fact that Sentai DVDs are $40, because the absolute best American Toku release I've ever seen is Kamen Rider V3 on DVD, which is only sold through one website, and it is a $150 box set. Be glad that our Sentai DVD sets aren't $150 each.
Yeah, but let's be glad that Gara is cheaper.
We'll get to them in a second, because Kraken is amazing. But Generation Kikaider did such a good job with V3. They got their subtitles are like damn perfect. The menus have individually animated images on them. There are literal pages for essays on every single episode, behind the scenes information, guest star information, everything. And there's like a trivia game on there, and like animated character bios, and like all this stuff that you'd probably get from like a mainstream Hollywood movie. They did all that work for this box set, which means in order to recoup all that cost of all the money spent to make it, it is an expensive set. So a bare bones release, making it overall more affordable is okay with me.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Because I'll say this right now. I wish we could get more tokusatsu over in America. I kind of wish that the Chayo lawsuit would have ended years ago. Because like when we started getting more on Crunchyroll, I was happy. But then kind of Olympusat kind of cock blocked them, and now they're getting more Ultraman. And the whole thing we joked about earlier about paying $4 more on your Amazon subscription is ridiculous just to watch it through them.
Mm-hmm.
And they shouldn't be promoting it that like you just get it immediately without really a subscription. Like oh yeah, you can just get a subscription through us and you can watch it on Amazon. No, you need to have an Amazon Prime subscription to watch it through them. So I mean, it's kind of an FU. I wish Crunchyroll would get more. I wish Shout Factory could at least distribute more on physical copies because it's ridiculous. I love a lot of Tokusatsu. I think that I want Ultraman, I want Garo, I want Sentai, I want Rider. Now Rider is the hardest one to get over here, because that bridge has been burnt several times.
Including Media Blasters' terrible Masked Rider the First DVD. Also because it was released as Masked Rider the First.
So, like, at the end of the frickin' day, this is the one thing that really annoys me the most, Soundout, is I really hate the part of the Tokusatsu community that gets very salty when, like, say, a new Ultraman series gets distributed, or a Garo series gets distributed, or just Sentai, and they're like, "Where's Kamen Rider?" And it's like, you're now the nichest part of the fandom. Shut the fuck up and start looking towards other outlets. Have more enjoyment.
This is the problem. This is the problem with the Toku community nowadays, at least from what I see online. It's so obsessed with Kamen Rider that it can't see beyond it. Because anytime like people talk about Sentai, they're like, "Oh, I wish it was more like Kamen Rider. Oh, I wish Ultraman was more like Kamen Rider." It's like, okay, look, Kamen Rider is Kamen Rider, Sentai is Sentai, Ultraman is Ultraman. They're different in their own ways. If everything is like Kamen Rider, it's going to be boring.
Yeah, it's going to be called freaking Metal Hero, which is the perfect combination of a good freaking Rider story with Sentai elements.
Yes, but at the end of the day, when we're talking about licensed Toku, the best and most generous releases we've gotten are Garo. So Section 23 Films is kind of an interesting company because their Sentai Filmworks brand is very anime focused, and they release a lot of older anime. They did the whole Gatchaman franchise, and they've done a lot of other stuff, which I think is really awesome. But I always feel like their releases are more higher priced, and they're pretty good quality. But I also feel like they're like a little bit overpriced in a lot of ways. While on their opposite branding of Kraken Releasing, it's the most affordable Japanese media in America. And it kind of freaks me out a little bit how inexpensive everything is while not being total crap like Mill Creek's Ultraman. Like, we're talking really good sub work, really good font and color usage for subtitles, really good prices. The first thing they did under Kraken Releasing is they released 4 Godzilla movies with their English dubs as they existed from the Toho International dubs. Plus,
actually, one or two of the dubs were brand new re-recordings.
Yeah, those were brand. Yeah, this is the other crazy part. We'll get to that in a second. But English dubs plus, and they were like, I think they go for like $9 on Amazon now. When they came out, they're like $9 to $10.
Well, no, when they released 84, it was all automatically $9.99.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
you bought it for me.
Yeah, I did. No, those Godzilla releases were great, and I wish they would get more Godzilla movies. Because I really like those. I like those more than the Media Blasters releases. I don't think
was Media Blasters the one who released the Toho Classic Collection?
No, that was Classic Media.
Oh yeah, no, that was Classic Media. The ones that Media Blasters had were just Destroy All Monsters and one other film.
Megalon.
Yeah, it was 50-50. Like, I'm glad we got them, but I would love to see a better release of Destroy All Monsters.
And like the thing is, like, I think like Sony still had the best Godzilla Blu-ray releases only because of the movies they had.
Yeah, because they had the Millennium Saga, the more updated film. And
the Heisei.
Yeah, most of the Heisei.
But Kraken's releases were really good. And it was interesting because that brand just kind of like didn't do anything for a little while. And then suddenly they're like, hey, we got the rights to Garo. Part 1's coming out. And it's $22. And everyone's like, wait, how many episodes are on it? They're like, 13. And I just sat over there like, wait, what? It's got 13 episodes and it's only $22? And it gets lower when it came out? What? How is it this cheap? And I still haven't figured out that answer because video quality is great, video quality is great, audio quality is great, subs are great, Everything's translated consistently. I was just like, wow, this is really impressive. And, typically I'm used to like $13 for, an anime or 13 episode anime Blu-ray being like $45 and including an English dub and a DVD copy. And I'm like, if you just cut the dub and the DVD copy, wouldn't this be like cheaper? And I guess the answer was yes. I'd say the only downside is for people that are only DVD people, there are no Garo DVDs. It's
I'll say this one thing though, which you'll laugh at is, it's so funny though, because like I could see Kraken trying to propose to Toho now and Konami to let them distribute the Shosei series, the trilogy.
They might.
I would love to see that. Like, I know you don't really know much about them, but I do recommend at least watching the first installment, Grand Caesar. You don't really have to watch the other two in the trilogy.
I mean, if Kraken releases them, then I'll buy it.
I mean, technically, you've already bought like an Ultraman release, so I mean,
technically, I own every single thing Kraken releasing is released, aside from the DVD versions of the Godzilla movies.
Like, I gotta say though, Soundout, I do feel like, honestly, Kraken, if they could get Konami's series, that'd be great. I forget who did Ryu Kendo, but that would also be cool to see distributed in North America. Those are like the other little known titles that I like,
I'm really impressed with Kraken because they've not only given us Garo at a very affordable rate of $22 for the 2 TV volumes, plus the movies now are $12.99 each. And Red Requiem has a brand new dub that just appeared out of nowhere that they didn't tell anybody about until people got the Blu-ray, popped it in, and were like, wait, what? Bonus feature English dub?
My mind is exploding.
Yeah, seriously. It's a $12.99 Blu-ray of a Japanese movie that's got, it's not, like, again, not a crappy release, has a brand new English dub, plus is really nicely subbed, again, for $12.99 on Blu-ray. Like, I can't fathom it very well.
Like, here's another thing that I can't fathom, is the fact that, like, there's a dub. Like, excuse me?
Yeah, there's a dub, and it's not bad. It's not a terrible dub. I'd say it's on par with, like, the Godzilla dubs.
Like, it's funny, too, because, like, Godzilla dubs aren't bad unless you listen to the later installments. Like, I think the dubs got way worse when you, like, listen to, like, Godzilla 2000 to Final Wars. Like, I think the early stuff, Showa and the Heisei, good dubs. Like, I've never.
I would say the Red Requiem dubs on par with the Heisei dubs.
Ooh, that's fairly decent then. That's fairly decent.
They even gave Zaruba the same vocal effect.
Oh, that's really good. Since the anime dub can't do that for shit.
Yep. They're like, nope, he gets a British accent.
Cause everything must be British. British.
Speaking of the Garo anime, it's so funny. I have this $22 13 episode Garo Blu-ray, and I have this $48 13 episode Garo Blu-ray. And,
here's the biggest plot twist. It's cheap.
Yeah, like, and the thing is too, here's the great thing about the Garo Blu-rays from Kraken as well. It's not just that they're inexpensive, they're high quality and inexpensive. They also come out every other month. Like, since they started, they have not stopped. We've gotten one every other month. Like, we had part 1, 2 months later, part 2, 2 months later, Kiva Visana, 2 months later, Red Requiem, 2 months later, Beast of the Demon Knight. And the thing is, they're not even doing it in production order. They're doing it in chronological order. So if you're watching the show for the first time as the Blu-rays are coming out, you're getting a more cohesive narrative.
Yeah, and that's the thing I gotta say is, the only thing I do hate about some of the, other distributions we've had in the past is that they're few from far and none in that. I mean, you have Sentai. At first it was every couple of months, like every 4 to 6 months. Now we have it almost every 3 months, and that's better. With Ultraman, though, they were trying,
Sentai a year
and they have
to
nothing.
4 Sentai a year.
Yeah, and like the reason I was just bringing this up is like, I remember when Ultraman first came out, and I think it was the Chayo deal originally worked with the group that eventually became Mills Creek, that was bought out by Shout Factory, was that Chayo was trying to get all Ultraman from, the original to Leo out, and it just couldn't happen. But now, Crunchyroll, Olympusat, and Shout Factory, I think, are trying to, help with this issue that they've been trying to get through their legal battle, that they're like, oh, hey, let's start trying to release stuff. Let's try to get more stuff streaming. There's this huge market now. There's so many people who love Sentai, so let's get more Ultraman out here. There's many fans that come to us saying, hey, let's have this, this, and this. Because that's the funny thing. Is one thing that I want to say before we wrap up, because I really want to wrap this up because we've gone way over the limit that we normally do. But I want to say, when it comes to the Toku community, the Kamen Rider portion of the Tokusatsu community tries to act or thinks they're the majority, which they kind of are in some regards, depending on where you go and where you're at. But in the Western world, in North America, the real majority will always be Sentai because of Power Rangers, Ultraman because of its original 60s dub, as well as the Shitora Ishinomori not Shitora Ishinomori, the Eiji Tsuburaya fans of Toho classics. And I find it funny that there are some guys out there that say Kaiju and Ultraman is niche. And I think it's only niche depending on where you live, what forums you visit, and where you go specifically even in Japan itself. Because it was the first, you know what I'm saying? The Daikaiju genre was first before we had our Henshin hero. And yes, Kamen Rider became one of the bigger Henshin heroes, but which one became the more internationally accepted one? Sentai.
Yep.
And that's what I hate when people keep saying, oh, but it was the first Henshin hero for Toei. It's the best Henshin hero for Toei. Then why isn't it able to reach other various countries,
Why is it unable to be adapted? Because it's too much in itself, and they're not ever, and Kamen Rider is never made with the intention of being anything else besides what it is as it is.
Exactly, and that's why
Kamen Rider is what it is, and there's nothing else it can be. It can't be transformed into an American adaptation. Dragon Knight was semi-successful. Masked Rider was a failure. It doesn't translate formats like Garo does. Like, Garo is having even more success in the anime than it is a Toku.
Yeah, so honestly, that's all I can really say. Is that's one of my biggest issues. Because, I know right now you're kind of indifferent on Ultraman. Like, you like it, you hate it, depending on what you watch. But, you can agree with me that the thing is, people are very... unlike the joke of how people say Ranger Board is the most insular place if you want to talk about Power Rangers or Sentai, the Rider fandom, or generally a good majority of the Tokusatsu fandom, has become so insular over Rider that it's so hilarious that they're so blinded to so many other Tokusatsus, whether they are old ones, whether they are current airing ones, or just other franchises. You're just like, what are you doing? Why aren't you going and visiting more Tokusatsu? There's other outlets, even indie outlets.
What I don't get is the people that are complaining that the weekly Rider shows aren't mature or adult enough, and yet they haven't watched Amazon's. Like, they literally did exactly what you're asking for, and you didn't watch it, so that's on you.
Yeah, I know. It's just really ludicrous, and like I said, I think we've gone on way too long, so let's wrap this up now. Soundout, do your outro.
So, I keep ranting about stuff, but I really mean well for the community. I have my complaints because I think that there's a lot of short-sightedness when it comes to Toku fans, and I wish that people would be more broad and open to things. And at the end of the day, you can be like me and not like Ultraman, but still be willing to try things and still kind of admire it for what it is and its fans for who they are. I think that every Toku has its own positives and negatives, and it has its own identity. I think that's very important. So please stop trying to get other shows to be like other shows. They are what they are, and they've lasted as long as they have for that exact reason. Also, shameless plug, check out Model Kit Monday on my channel, Soundout 12 on YouTube.
That's what I was looking for. That's exactly what I was looking for. Because I'm Wheelchair21. You can find me on YouTube at Wheelchair21, on Twitter, Wheelchair21, Instagram is TaJa_Doyle, because some jackass took it. Nevertheless, we'll see you next time on the brand new episode of Los Ingobernables de Tokusatsu. Hey, it's Wheelchair21, and thanks again for listening to an all-new episode of Los Ingobernables de Tokusatsu. If you want to hear more content or see more content from the Hero Club YouTube channel, we're going to need you to subscribe, like, comment with some feedback, and share this channel with a friend. We also would like you to check out our website, hero-club.com, and follow us on various social media outlets just by looking up Hero Club for Life, as well as the stores you see are where we shop. Anyways, thanks again, and we'll see you all next time.